turns dark, we're just carnival hearts, you and me. In a swirl of flashing lights, we are the lost ones in the night. Got our fingers intertwined, wild and free. A pathetic neon sign lights the corner of my eye. Welcome to the midway. Welcome to our stopping grounds. Broken bottles spilling dreams. I can almost hear the screams. Silence is the only sound. There's no one else but us around. Let's make some noise. In this abandoned amusement park, we come to life when it turns dark. We're just carnival hearts, you and me. In a swirl of flashing lights, we are the lost ones in the night. Got our fingers intertwined, wild and free. Don't turn off the stars. We got carnival hearts. Don't turn off the stars. We got carnival hearts. We were black to mourn the loss of all the rebels without a cause. Life is just stirring toys. And baby, you're the boss of my psychedelic fun house. All you're the only one I need to know. No one else but us around. Welcome to our stopping grounds. Let's make some noise. In this abandoned amusement park, we come to life when it turns dark. We're just carnival hearts, you and me. In a swirl of flashing lights, we are the lost ones in the night. Got our fingers intertwined, wild and free. Don't turn off the stars. We got carnival hearts. Don't turn off the stars. We got carnival hearts. Skip the line, get on the ride. Climb on board and hold our tight. It's our love, it's our life, you and I. In this abandoned amusement park, we come to life when it turns dark. We're just carnival hearts, you and me. In a swirl of flashing lights, we're the lost ones in the night. Got our fingers intertwined, wild and free. Don't turn off the stars. We got carnival hearts. Don't turn off the stars. We got carnival hearts.
Hi, I'm Josh Rawlings. I'm joined by the amazingly talented Kayla Diamond. Thank you so
Hello,
much for coming
hello.
in. So you've got a pretty interesting story for a musician.
It's a little bit weird. It's not your average story, that's for sure.
That's okay. Weird is good. I just want to talk about it a little bit. So
Let's do it.
you started off being raised in modern Orthodox family. Does that affect your music
Yes.
at all?
Totally. You know, I think when you're a Jewish girl, especially like in that, that whole world, because it is modern Orthodox. It's not like super religious. It's not super Orthodox. You're definitely part of a minority. You're part of two, right? You're a woman and you're growing up in an Orthodox community. And so making music wasn't exactly ideal.
That you never woke up, you're like, I really want to be a songwriter today.
Oh, I totally woke up every morning and was like, oh, I wish I could have a song on the radio. That would be, and then I'm like, don't dream too big. And so I went to law school instead.
Yes, so you go to law school and then you write a song called Crazy.
Yes.
And then just kind of toss it. You're like, whatever.
Totally. Yeah. I had never written a song my entire life before before that summer between undergrad and law school. And so in February, I was dating somebody, and they had introduced me to somebody else, and I was like, I have a crush on that other person who I'm not dating. And
that must have went over well.
it was, I didn't exactly tell the people, but I didn't know how to express it because I had a dream that I was with that person who I was introduced to, and I was like, I kind of want to write a song about it. And I woke up and I wrote this song called Crazy, and I did not think anything of it, and I just put it out as a hobby on YouTube. And that was the summer between undergrad and law school, because I had so much free time.
Right.
I figured I should spend it wisely, right? That's what my parents told me to do.
And not studying,
writing music instead. Wouldn't have anything to study for, thankfully.
Yeah.
That's really why. So I went to law school in August of 2015. I was living in Windsor. Totally law-oriented. I had no desire. I mean, I had always a desire to be a musician. It wasn't realistic,
It was the pipe dream, not the reality.
Totally, right. The reality was law school.
Which is a very high making, just letting you know, it's a very, they make a lot of money in law. And,
Oh, yes.
music, it's just now.
Well, I
down
mean,
the
if you're a
line.
good lawyer, you'll make money.
Yeah. Apparently, if you're not a good lawyer, I'm learning these things now.
Yes.
So you submit the song to a contest.
Yeah.
You win. You get signed.
Yes.
That must be a whirlwind experience.
That was really nuts. That was exactly 2 years ago. 2 years and a little bit. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. And since then, I've had 2 singles on the radio now, which my second single just got added. And I've had a couple songs on Sirius XM. And it's just been really wild.
Yeah, because it must be crazy to think that one day I'm going to be a lawyer, and the next day you're like, okay, mom and dad, I'm a musician now. How'd that conversation go over? Did it start positive and end negative, or start negative and end positive?
Well, my parents have always been super supportive. My mom actually was the one to put me in piano lessons, and I hated it. And she was like, no, but you're good at it, so you're going to keep doing it. Because I was like, I really want to quit. And she goes, you're not a quitter. You keep doing. And I did piano for about 12 years. She chained me to the piano and told me to practice.
Just kind of changes like play.
Yes.
Play.
She was just like, you're not going out with your friends tonight. You're going to practice.
This is too
No,
close to
I'm
home
joking.
for
I'm
me.
joking. She's watching this now and going, ugh, why do you have to make me look so bad?
Yeah.
Always. No, but she instilled that discipline in me, which was what I needed. Because as children, I think when children just take on like a musical instrument or a different kind of discipline, like a sport, it helps them academically too, because they know how to focus, they know how to channel certain energies into things. And I think it really helped me when it came to school as well. Mm-hmm. And it was just a really great outlet. And like, I thank her every day for pushing me in that. So when I told her, I won the contest, she was still like, both my parents were super supportive. My mother was a little worried because she is a Jewish mother, and that's what happens. But my parents were super supportive, and they were like, yeah, okay, fine. We support you. And every time they hear my song on the radio, they call me and they're like, we just heard your song on the radio. I'm like, yes, it's on rotation.
And that must be like a really surreal feeling, just thinking about
It's wild.
getting past that, the higher mountain that is radio, and then getting your song in there. What was that? You remember that first time you heard your song?
God. Yes, yeah. I started crying my eyes out. I was standing in my kitchen, and Virgin Radio was like, we have iHeart Superstar, Future Star, whatever, for the month of July, and they started playing Carnival Hearts, and I heard my name on the radio and my song on the radio, and I just started crying like a baby, and I just couldn't believe it. I really felt it was like an outer body experience, and it was crazy. The power of radio is really insane too.
It is. We know how to use words, and we know how to say the word "you" really well. That's about it. So you sign the contract, and then you start getting into those sessions because the EP was coming, it was developing, which released back in November. Beautiful Chaos, sounds great.
Thank you.
So you started working with Craig a little bit. And
Yes.
Was that start off? How was that first session?
You know what? It's really funny. And I'm thankful you're asking me this because I love telling this story. And he probably doesn't even know this story, so I'm glad I'm saying it publicly.
Should he be concerned before you started this story?
No.
Okay.
But Slate Music set me up. They were like, hey, we kind of want to write, we want you to work with this guy, Craig McConnell. And I'm like, I've never heard of this guy in my life. I Googled him, and I saw that he did a lot of scoring for films. He had, production and stuff. And so I was intrigued by him, and he had an initial phone call with me. I still didn't even know what a writing session was. He had to kind of train me, and he was one of my first writing sessions. And, you know, I got to his studio, and he was super nice, but I thought he was really serious. So I met him, and I was super intimidated by him because he comes off as a very serious musician who's good at what he does and, like, doesn't have time to mess around.
Very like Morrissey and Trent Reznor,
Yeah.
like in the moment, locked in.
Yes, he's very in the moment. He's very focused. He's one of the most incredible producers I've ever worked with. And so we sat down, and that initial session, we wrote this song called Dear God, and it was very kind of diva-esque. And it was still, you know, to one of this days, it's one of my favorite songs we've written. It just didn't fit so well on my EP, but ever since then, so I told Slate, I was like, I really like him, but I feel like I'm not serious enough for him. Like, I'm kind of intimidated by him.
Like he's too big of a deal kind of thing.
Yeah. So Slate was like, okay, I mean, you don't have to write with him if you don't want to. And I was like, I like him, but I'm scared. And so a few months later, they told me, Slate was like, well, do another session, see how it goes. And then we wrote What You're Made Of. And it clicked, and I was like vibing it, and like him and I just looked at each other, we're like, that's a song, you know? And then since then, I was like, Craig's my go-to guy, and like, he really gets me. He gets me, and I get him, and he's amazing.
You mentioned Slate and what they've been doing for you. I
Yes.
read this, and this was something that was crazy to me. I've never heard it before.
Yeah.
They sent you to Berkeley?
Slate's also like unbelievable. Every time I think about Slate, I want to like tear up a little bit because I feel so blessed to be working with people like this. They sent me to Berkeley.
And it was for vocal training and
stuff.
stuff.
They customized a program for me at Berkeley for a week to just hone certain talents, and I studied with certain vocal coaches who have trained Charlie Puth and like really, and Megan Trainor and stuff like that. And I've got skills for a lifetime just from that 1 week. And it's all thanks to them.
So there's a couple of songs on the EP that really I connected with and I thought had really great stories
Sure.
behind them I want to talk about. What You're Made Of.
Yeah.
The first two lines, really impactful. Can you tell me about how that song was made and the background behind it?
Yeah, you know, my dad, it's really kind of like an anthem for people who didn't have somebody telling them, show them what you're made of, here's encouragement, you know, and my dad was always like that. You know, I came home from law school and I was really nervous, and I had done that long drive back from Windsor. I walk into my house and my dad looks at me and he goes, I just want to tell you something. He goes, you are not going back to law school. And I said, what?
Wow.
I'm like, how could you say something so irresponsible? And he's like, because in a year from now, we're going to hear your song on the radio. And surely a year and a half later, Carnival Arts was on the radio.
He
called it. And so I needed to honor him. Like, he was going through kind of a period where he realized I was growing up, I moved out of the house, and I'm the baby, and he was kind of sad. And so that just came to mind. I was like, it's just kind of like a letter to my dad. And that's what I want. And I also, you know, it's in part dedicated to my father, but it's also dedicated to, you know, anybody who didn't have somebody giving them words of encouragement.
So there's also the cool thing on the EP as well, as you put on Crazy on there as kind of an homage to the start. But the one song that really hooked me that I heard it instantly, it's like, this is interesting, is America's Sweetheart.
Yeah.
There's got to be a story behind that.
There is. It was inspired by one of my friends who, you know, suffers from depression. And that is something that was once such a taboo topic that nobody discussed. And I just felt there wasn't enough representation for people who go through something like that, especially on the radio. And so I just wanted to let her know, you know, I'm there for you. People are there for you. We understand what you're going through. Not everything is, you know, pretty lights all the time. And to me, it was partly inspired by that song Lucky by Britney Spears, because she was singing about the same thing, pretty much. You know, somebody who looks amazing and happy on the outside, and then they go into their dressing room and they're lonely. Because when you walk off that stage, your fans don't follow you entirely backstage, right?
Yeah. Now, the one last thing I wanted to ask you about was there's a lot of blending in your music. It goes, it's pop, and then you get the hip hop elements. You get different elements from different genres. Who are you influenced by?
Ooh, so many influences. I love Macklemore. Like, that's my dream collaboration. So if he's listening,
Get him on the phone.
Get him on the phone. We're doing it. I love Macklemore. I love Lana Del Rey. So if you hear strings in any of my songs, America's Sweetheart's one of them. I just love how she puts that classic feel to her songs, and it just tugs at your heartstrings. So those two really do it for me.
Macklemore and Lana Del Rey.
Yep.
Great combination. And thank you so much for Kayla for joining me. You can find her at the Kayla Diamond online. She's got a show coming up on the 26th. Hit the internet. You'll find it there. I'm Josh Rawlings. Thank you so much for joining me.
Grips on your waist, front way, back way. You know that I don't play. Streets not safe, but I never run away. Even when I am away. OT, OT. It's never much love when we go OT. I pray to make it back in one piece. I pray. That's why I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. Strength and guidance, all that I'm wishing for my friends. Nobody makes it from my ends. I had to bust up the silence. You know you gotta stick by me. Soon as I see the text reply me, I don't wanna spend time fighting. We've got no time. That's why I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. These days seems like you're not the same. I just wanna know what I can do to make that change. And I hate seeing you this way. We used to laugh about life and you would show me the most. Say, baby girl, you'll be successful in whatever you do. And I still think about that today. Life's too short not to fill it with love. Don't you wait for this moment to pass us. Remember when you say to me, show them what you're made of. 'Cause I raised you so tough. You were meant to be someone. They won't always show love, but I raised you so tough. You ain't never gonna give up. Little God will always be the same. I still have your eyes and I will carry your name. And you are always up on my mind. But time moves on and we move with it too. And daddy, life gets in the way, but there's not much we can do. I know you're worried, but I'll be fine. Life's too short not to fill it with love. Don't you wait for this moment to pass us. Remember when you say to me, show them what you're made of. 'Cause I raised you so tough. You were meant to be someone. They won't always show love, but I raised you so tough. Ain't never gonna give up. I wanna let you in as much as I can, but I'm afraid that if you saw me, you'd let go on my hand. So now I'm coming to you, daddy, with my heart on my sleeve. Will you stand by me? Or just get up? can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. Yeah, show them what you're made of, 'cause I raised you so tough. You were meant to be someone they won't always show love, but I raised you so tough. You ain't never gonna give up. Show them what you're made of. Show them what you're made of. Show them what you're made of.